I change both heads on a drum, I always do the top head first. There's no reason to do that. That's just what I do. I think it comes from the fact that I don't change the bottom head every time I change a head. So, but if I'm doing a head change, the top head is always going to change. So I just do that first. So we've changed the head here, and I've gotten just a little tiny bit of tension on it. And now I'm going to use I use the Tama tension watch, and this is just to save me time. You can tune a head just as well without it. It just makes it faster. So I'm just going to get an even tension the whole way around. And it just kind of gets me where I want to be a little bit faster. So now that we're there, now I'll just kind of listen to the drum around the head as I go. And okay, if you hear that rattling, that means you're not bearing evenly the whole way around. So now I need to figure out where that is. I'm gonna guess it's there. Going to be a problem. So what I'm hearing here is less tension on this pair than the other two. What I don't know yet is whether that's due to the tension of the lug or if that's something inherent to the head. So I'm going to need to work with this here. This pair is higher. I'm going to try to take that down a little. So as I'm tuning, if I'm tuning this pair here, I always want to tune in pairs, then I'm damping the head a little bit with my left hand, not pressing down on the head at all, just kind of laying my fingers on there to take the ring out of the other axis of the head here so that I can hear just the pair that I'm tuning. So that's a pretty good tone. They're actually very close in pitch to each other. So then I want to compare the other two pairs to that. So that's significantly lower on this lug than this lug, and the pair of them are lower than this pair here. Now, here's an odd thing about die-cast hoops. When you get the lugs close to each other in pitch, you'll actually tune this spot on this head up and down with this lug, and you'll tune this spot here with this lug. So it's kind of reversed. It's a little challenging to get used to, but after a while it just becomes second nature. So this is still higher, so I want to tune this down, so I'm loosening this lug here. Now they're the same pitch. Now as a pair, they're still lower than this one. This is sort of my reference pair right now. Now those four are fairly close. That's good as a pair, but it's low from the other four. Now, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but as I got all 6 of the lugs relatively close to each other, all of a sudden the drum started to have a much rounder sound to it, because now the head is starting to work like as a single unit. Instead of having 6 vastly different pitches, they're starting to get closer together. So that's telling me that I'm getting closer to where I want to be. So now what I'm going to do, now that I have some tension on here, and I'm starting to get some pitches out of it, is I want to check with my piano app here and see about where I am. So I need to strike the head and try to sing the note that I'm hearing. So it's about a C sharp. And I want to take this, I want this drum to finish out at a D. Now, if I would hit this head really hard, that's going to be a totally different pitch. So when I say I'm tuning to a D, I'm actually just tuning each lug to a D with about a 2 or 3 inch strike. When you hit it really hard, the head stretches and that raises the pitch because you're raising the tension on the head. So I'm not talking about the fundamental note of the drum or the two heads working together or even the basic pitch of this head if I would strike it in the center. I'm talking about an inch inside the rim, just getting a tap on it and listening to sort of the resonant pitch of the head. So if I'm at a C sharp and I want to be at a D, then basically this whole thing needs to go up a half step. Now what I would normally do at this point is I would stop working on this head because it's relatively in tune with itself. It's relatively close to the pitch I want to end up at. And if I let it sit for 15 or 20 minutes like this, the head will sort of acclimate to the drum and everything will just sort of help itself. So what I'm going to do now is turn the drum over and we'll replace the bottom head while we're waiting for this thing to sort of acclimate.